Hi everyone, it's Caesar from Jack and All Trades. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about psychological skills, specifically goal setting. Today we'll discuss why goal setting is effective, we'll define the types of goals, we'll create SMART goals, we'll go over some guidelines on how to goal set, and finally we'll go over some common problems that occur during goal setting. So why does goal setting work? There are two schools of thoughts on this idea. First one, the indirect thought process view, which states that goals indirectly influence the performance of the individual by affecting their important psychological factors such as confidence and anxiety. Now, while the indirect thought process view has had much success, it has not been thoroughly investigated like the second school of thought, the direct mechanistic view, which specifies that goals influence the performance in one of four ways. Firstly, goals direct focus on certain aspects of a skill being performed. Basically, the performer has a direction and focus, and this allows them to really see where they lack in the skill that they're performing. Therefore, they can improve. This allows them to see what aspect of their performance is limiting their success. Secondly, goals mobilize effort for the performer. Thirdly, goals prolong the persistence of the individual. So both these statements are saying that small goals in a certain time frame can allow for someone to mobilize or start the goal or the task at hand. And this can also allow them to persist longer in this goal. They have motivation to keep going once they've started because they've set these small goals in a certain time frame. For example, let's say you want to jog for 30 minutes. Instead of jogging those 30 minutes continuously, what someone can do is jog for 5 minutes, take a break, jog another 5 minutes, take a break until they reach the full 30 minutes. And this creates an incentive for the performer to not only start the jog, but also persist in their goal of jogging for 30 minutes. Another example is losing weight. Let's say you want to lose 50 pounds overall. What someone might do to create an incentive is to lose 1 to 2 pounds weekly. Thus, as time passes on and they're persisting with their goals, they'll eventually meet that 50-pound mark. Because they have these incentives, it's a lot easier to begin their task or their goal. Thus, they're more likely to succeed in completing their goal. And lastly, number 4, goals foster the development of new learning strategies. If you don't have a certain way of completing a goal, you are more likely to find different ways of completing that specific goal, thus fostering new strategies for achieving the goal. Next, let's talk about the two categories of goals. There's one, objective goals, which is I want to obtain a certain standard or performance for a skill in a certain time frame. Then there's subjective goals, which are goals without an intent, such as I just want to have fun. For this video, we're going to be focusing on objective goals. Now that we got the two categories of goals defined, let's talk about the three types of goals. There's one, outcome goals, which is specifically a goal for results of an event, such as winning a competition. Secondly, there are performance goals, which aim to reach a certain standard or performance independent of any external factor. This could be improving a performance in a sport, or let's say a performance in a public speaking situation, such as a business presentation or a conference presentation. Thirdly, we have process goals. These focus on the actions a performer must execute in order to perform a skill well. This could be enunciating while doing a public speaking presentation, or taking a diaphragmatic breath while bracing before initiating a powerlifting movement. All three types of goals are effective, but they must be prioritized at different times of the goal setting process. For example, outcome goals are great at short-term motivation. So this is something you can use at the start of your goal setting in order to really get going. Since outcome goals are dependent on things outside of someone's control, it is preferred not to prioritize these outcome goals. Instead, we can prioritize performance and process goals, since these are goals that we have much more control over, and depend less on external factors. In short, one must learn how to prioritize each goal at certain times appropriate for their use. Now let's switch gears a bit and learn how to set a SMART goal. So SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. Now what does this mean? Specific just means that you need to have a clear objective in order to be working towards that objective. If it is not clear, the pathway to reach that goal can be disrupted by other things. There must also be measured assets. All things measured can be managed. Therefore, a SMART goal has measurable assets in order for us to see how we are progressing. The SMART goal must also be attainable. Is this goal something that is possible? Next, we have R for relevant. Is this goal too easy or too hard? Will achieving this goal put me in the place where I want to be in life? Lastly, we have time-based. And this is simply just to give a sense of urgency. If you don't have a deadline, obviously if you're an athlete or you have a big business proposal coming up or whatever reason, we want to set a deadline to keep us focused on the task at hand and make sure that we reach those deadlines. But now if you're someone like me that does things recreationally, exercise, YouTube videos, things like this, having a deadline is more of having a sense of urgency to make sure that we have the motivation to complete the task. Let's try a simple example now. Let's say I want to create a SMART goal to lose body fat. I will lose 2% body fat in 1 month. This goal is a SMART goal compared to the common goal, I want to lose weight. Now specifically, we see that my SMART goal wants to lose body fat, whereas the common goal, I want to lose weight, can lose fat, muscle, or both. There we have a specific asset that we want to minimize, body fat. If your goal is to lose body fat, you must measure your body fat every single day in order to evaluate the progress you're making within your goals. Now, this is an attainable goal that is not only possible, but also moderately challenging to keep me engaged and motivated to complete this task. Lastly, we see that I've given myself a month, so it is very much time-based. Therefore, this goal is SMART. Now that we know how to set a SMART goal, let's talk about the 12 guidelines for goal setting. As we go down these 12 guidelines, I will create an example in order to illustrate these guidelines in a more real-life situation. Guideline number 1, set a SMART goal. For this SMART goal, I'm going to choose something different. My SMART goal will be, I will read a 300-page book in 1 month. This goal is SMART, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. Therefore, guideline number 1, fulfilled. Guideline number 2 is basically just make sure that your SMART goal is moderately difficult and not too easy. This is important as to not discourage someone from completing their goals and keep them motivated and engaged. Guideline number 3, set long-term goals and short-term goals. A long-term goal for this goal could be to read a book every single month. It could also be just to read regularly. A short-term goal could be to read 10 pages daily. Guideline number 4, set performance, process, and outcome goals. Using our reading example, an outcome goal could be to complete a book, but not only complete it, but also comprehend the material that you are reading. A performance goal could be to read 70 pages weekly or 10 pages daily in a consistent manner. Lastly, for this guideline, a process goal could be to focus and really understand the material that you are reading. And depending on the type of reading that you want to do, you could also take notes on the side. Guideline number 5, set mastery approach goals versus performance avoidance goals. Now, we haven't talked about these two topics yet, but mastery approach goals are basically goals to master a skill. We want to improve our skill and make this skill our own, make it easy for us to do every single time we do it. Whereas a performance avoidance goal is basically having the fear of failure. We're going to work hard so we don't fail. Continuing with our reading goal, a master approach goal could be to make reading a hobby rather than a task. That could be something that you could set as a mastery approach goal. Now, for a performance avoidance goal, that one's pretty simple. We just read because we don't want to fail. We don't want to not complete our goal. Guideline number 6, set up situational goals. Now, the cool thing about books is they're pretty much travel size. They fit in any backpack or purse, depending on the book that you're reading. We could also spend more time in reading environments such as bookstores or libraries. Guideline number 7, record your goals. Keep a tally of the pages you're reading daily and weekly so you can see if you're meeting your deadlines for your goals and sub-goals. Guideline number 8, develop goal achievement strategies. Basically, we want to make our goals more accessible and facilitate the completion of these goals. For our reading goal, this could be setting time before bed, maybe 30 minutes or so before bed, to read. This could also be carrying our book with us at all times. It could also be spending more time in environments such as libraries and bookstores in order to encourage us to read more. Guideline number 9, self-awareness. We have to be aware of our personalities. Are we autonomous goal setters, or do we need help? Someone to hold us accountable. Now, there's no shame in either or, but we have to realize, why are we doing this? What is our reason for achieving this goal? Are just these reasons enough to keep us motivated and committed to our goals, or do we need an external factor to help us? These external factors could be someone like a coach, or it could be an app on your telephone. Guideline number 10, goal commitment. Are you fully committed to this goal? And if you answer no, is there something that you can do or someone that you can talk to help you commit to this goal fully? Guideline number 11, social support. Find someone to set a goal with. Work with them. Work with each other. Together, you're more likely to achieve any goal that you set. Going back to our reading goal, this could be seen as joining a book club, finding a buddy to read with, or even reading with a significant other. There have been social studies regarding exercise that if you buddy up with someone, you are more likely to adhere to an exercise regime because you're holding each other accountable. Therefore, social support is something that's very necessary to achieve your goals. And lastly, guideline number 12, set up an evaluation system for your goals. This is an important aspect to goal setting because it allows us to adjust our goals if things are going too easy or they're going too difficult. This allows us to stay motivated if it is too easy, and helps us not be discouraged if it is too hard. Sometimes there are external factors that we have no control over that affect our goal setting. Therefore, it's important to evaluate our process so we can adjust and make small, minute adjustments in order to prolong our persistence and continue working toward our ultimate goal. We have to be adaptable and be able to adjust when necessary. Some questions that you can ask yourself are, is this method really the best method for me to complete this goal? Is there a way I can improve my efficiency or effectiveness in completing my goal? Now that we know the different types of goals, how to set a SMART goal, and the 12 guidelines to goal setting, let's talk about some common problems that occur while goal setting. Problem number 1, not fully committing to formal goal setting. Some people believe that goal setting is too formal, it takes too much time, consumes energy. But I would argue that goal setting actually saves time and saves energy because you are organizing your goals and you have a clear pathway to achieve the things that you want to do. Not only are things organized, but you also have a specific objective thanks to your SMART goal. You know where you want to go, how to get there, and when to do your task. Common problem number 2, failing to set a specific goal. Now, if you did not set a SMART goal, this could be an issue. Setting a specific objective goal creates focus and intent on a certain pathway in order to achieve our goals, therefore motivating us and keeping us engaged and focused in the end result. Common problem number 3, setting too many goals at one time. It is recommended if you're just starting out with goal setting to set 1 to 2 goals maximum. For someone who's just beginning, setting too many goals at a certain time can discourage someone and overwhelm them. This will then likely cause them to abandon their goals altogether. This is where we can use our knowledge of the different types of goals, such as outcome goals and short-term goals, which facilitate mobilization as well as persistence and effort and motivation. Finally, common problem number 4, failing to set up an evaluation system. There has to be a form of evaluation for our goals to be able to adjust and adapt to certain situations. Let's say your goal is too easy, you probably won't be motivated to complete that goal. If it is too difficult, you might be discouraged and completely abandon your goals and be turned off to goal setting in general. Therefore, it is necessary to have an evaluation system to keep you fresh and motivated to complete your goals. Something that I really think is effective is the adjustment of goals. Let's say you have a goal to read 10 pages daily, right? That's a short-term goal. But your ultimate goal is to read a book every month or to read regularly, right? So if 10 pages daily is too much, what you can do is you can shorten that to 5 pages daily. So not only are you still working towards your ultimate goal, but you're still motivated because you know that you're putting in the work to achieve that ultimate goal of reading a book every month. If the 10 pages daily is too easy, you can up that to 15 to 20 pages, keeping you engaged, motivated, and you're having fun. Well, I hope you found this information useful. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Remember, we don't experience life, life experiences us. Go out there and be great. Thank you for watching.